Welcome back to the Toffee Blues, your source for all things Everton. My name is Connor Williams, and we're back with another one of the 24/7 news reports. We start off with the headline news as always, and the headline news for this evening is that Everton and West Ham are amongst the clubs tracking Chris Rigg. He's believed to be amongst the players on Everton's radar due to the profile of what they're looking for. This came from Vinny O'Connor via Sky Sports. I had a look at Rigg to see what his statistics were for this season. He's only a 17-year-old lad. It's worth pointing that out first and foremost. So for a 17-year-old lad, it's not actually that bad. It was 4 goals this season in the Championship, 1 assist, 29 starts. He can play striker, right wing, centre mid, but he's predominantly a central attacking midfielder, which before I go in would at least make some sense. I know we've got Alcaraz, and I'm sure Ndai can play there as well. Yeah, certainly an interesting one. 17 years old, like I said, so very much one for the future. I think looking at his statistics, 4 goals and an assist at 17 years old in a championship and getting like 29 games under your belt isn't bad. The season before that, he had 22 games under his belt, so he gets a lot of football. So yeah, definitely a player to look out for. Even if we don't end up getting him, he might be one to see where he ends up. There's plenty of players that were linked with us that go on and do quite well. We also have that Everton are interested in obviously Chris Rigg, like I said, but also his fellow Sunderland teammate Dan Neil, according to Team Talk. Neil has been linked in the past as well. So it's interesting. We're clearly looking for a certain type of player. Obviously, Sunderland have a couple of decent players in their side, and Everton are well aware of that in the scouting system. It's also interesting that David Moyes is looking at Championship and sort of seeing what he can gather there. So that's another interesting sort of way to do our business. I know a lot of people over the last couple of years, especially during the Mashiri, more during the Mashiri era, where we were spending money, like crazy. And then we obviously had the PSNR sort of restrictions. People were going, when did we stop looking at the championship? Why aren't we looking at the championship and doing it that way? And it's a fair point. It's a fair point that people have been wanting for a while. And it looks like now Everton are falling back into, let's have a look back at the championship. Daniel Neil, for those that want to know, has played 37 matches in the championship this year. He's a centre mid CDM. He's got 2 goals, 3 assists. Obviously, they're not really the goals and assists aren't really what you'd hope for. Well, it's great if your centre mid can do it, but it's not what people look out for when they talk about their centre mids. He looks to be very good in possession as well, can dribble with the ball. 38 tackles, won a tackle one percentage of 55.9. A lot of interceptions, 42. Great amount of recoveries. Triple passed 32 times this season, which how many games did I say he played? Like 37. So that's not even triple pass once a game. But yeah, again, another good player. He's only 23 years old. So again, another young player that Everton are looking at from the Championship. I think both of them look like a decent pair. According to Peter O'Rourke of Footy Insider 247, he said that Roma are also interested in Daniel Neil. So we're going to have a little bit of competition there. It's interesting though, isn't it? Because it's Roma and, their owners are our owners. So it's interesting that they're both going for the same player. I do worry. This was the only worry with the new owners, though. If Everton were to go for him and Roma, who has to fall back and like who do the owners decide? No, he's going here. Did they decide us or Roma? Because both big clubs, obviously Roma are in the are a European, fighting club, and recently had European success. But we're a Premier League fallen giant that they'd like to get back where we were and even beyond that. So it's an interesting sort of conundrum for them. I can tell you now, it won't go down well if we go for the same targets and Roma keep getting them. But yeah, I'll have to wait and see. We also have the Everton have held concrete interest in Rangers striker Hamza Igmane, Igmane, and are currently favourites to sign him this summer. But it will take a big fee to lure him from Glasgow, according to Team Talk. The Rangers star is one of several players under serious consideration. The 22-year-old has been in an outstanding form, domestically and in Europa League, scoring 14 goals across all competitions. Um, Several sides are interested in him, and everyone apparently these teams all sent a scout to scout him at some point this season. So Tottenham are after him, Bayer Leverkusen and Nice are all keen. It will take a bid of over 20 million for Everton to land him. So yeah, I don't really know much about Hamza, so but 14 goals across all competitions isn't bad. Bear in mind, in Europe and Europa, no offense to Rangers, but they will be a underdog there. They're not, and in their own league. I mean, bar playing Celtic, they are the top dogs, and then when they play Celtic, they're not on that level. Um, but yeah, I think that's a good goal return. Everton have joined Crystal Palace in the chase for RC Lens's Andy Duoff, according to Jean Foutu. The France under-21 international is attracting interest from Everton. The report states David Moyes' side have included the player in their list of to compensate the possible departure of Abdoulaye Doucouré. Jean Foutu state Lens would value the offer at 15 million euros, and they would like to collect 20 million euros for his sale. Again, I haven't seen much of Diop, but it's interesting that we're now looking outside of the usual targets. This could be quite a way to go for Everton in the following transfer windows. I like that we're looking at the Championship. I like that we're looking at the Scottish League, and I like that we're looking at the French League. Diouf is 21 years old, 1 goal, 1 assist in 26 games for Lens. Um, he can predominantly play centre mid, DM, and AM. I think he normally plays centre mid though. Um, yeah, it's interesting. Like I said, it's interesting we're going down to the Scottish as well. If you throw back to the good old days of David Moyes, there were players being signed from the Championship. Tim Cahill. There were players being signed that played in the Scottish League. Stephen Naismith, Mikel Arteta had a stint there. I could name several others in that team. It's very, very interesting that we're now sort of rolling back the years to that sort of method. To end on as well, we have today that Premier League clubs have agreed the dates for the 2025 summer transfer window from the 1st of June to the 10th of June, open early due to an exceptional registration period relating to the FIFA Club World Cup. And then the 16th of June to the 1st of September, it will reopen from the 16th of June and then go till September. So, yeah, I don't really know an awful lot about why it's done. I know what they said, but that's not going to affect us. But yeah, either way, so there'll be like a week where there'll be no window and no signings. That'll be interesting. You'll just have people holding off on finalising deals, I think. I honestly don't think a week's not that much to affect that. You'll just have players that are being delayed, and then we'll just all be finalised the week after. But that is all we've got time for. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already, and comment down below your thoughts. I look forward to reading them, and I'll see you guys soon.